episode 16 of season 4 of The Flash, titled Run Iris Run, we saw Iris and Barry swap DNA after a run-in with another one of the bus metas, forcing Barry to lose his speed for like the 4th season in a row and making Iris a full-fledged speedster.
Yeah, it was kind of a dumb episode when you really stop and think about it. Like, apparently Iris is totally cool with running into combat without fully getting a handle on her new powers, despite whining about Wally wanting to do the same thing last season.
Wally, look, I know you're upset with me. I was just trying to protect you.
Come on. I know you don't want me training, I just don't get why.
Barry can't figure out how to walk a new speedster through doing speedster stuff, despite the fact that he's been doing it for years now, and was even shown teaching newbie speedsters in the last season, and the villain of the week was probably one of the worst I think we've ever seen in the show.
Don't make us shoot you, stand down!
Oh, I don't think so, copper. Not until I get my money!
Seriously?
But whatever, at least we got some cool stuff out of it, right?
What cool stuff? We didn't get anything cool out of that ridiculous episode.
I don't know, Ultron, that purple lightning Iris generates every time she runs, that's pretty cool looking.
Alright, I'll give you that one. But it does present a potential problem. Why does Iris have purple lightning? She got her powers from Barry after all, and he never showed off purple lightning before.
Well, when the episode aired, I heard a lot of people saying that this is just another hint that Iris is probably pregnant with the Tornado twins, and that, on top of the stuff like the extended length of time she was able to spend in Flash time compared to everybody else, are all going to come together in some future episode when we're finally told that Iris is pregnant.
Their opinions are bad and they should feel bad.
Yeah, I don't think that's really going to be a thing either, at least as far as the lightning color goes. I mean, we have seen another speedster on the show with purple lightning back in season 3, and that one very clearly wasn't a pregnant woman, so I can't imagine purple lightning is a female speedster's way of showing, you know what I'm saying? Now, that having been said, it was revealed by executive producer Todd Helbing in an interview with TV Guide that Iris's purple lightning does tie in with a couple other things, like that costume she wore when she was running around saving people. Apparently, it's all part of some greater mystery that the show's gonna deal with at some point or another. Helbing said in the interview, "There's a specific reason we designed the costume the way we did. There's a specific reason for the jacket. That's kinda all I'll give you guys. You'll find out soon."
Oh, hell, this is just gonna be Savitar all over again, isn't it?
Now, me personally, I'm pretty sure that means everything that made up Speedster Iris is gonna tie into the reveal of who this girl's supposed to be. And considering Helbing mentioned that there was a reason behind Iris wearing this exact costume, and more specifically that jacket, I'm gonna double down on one of my older theories and say that this girl's really a version of Jenny, the granddaughter of Barry and Iris, otherwise known as the future Speedster XS in the comics. But she's not a superhero yet on the show. Just to kind of sum up everything for those of you who didn't see my Iris Speedster video a while ago, basically I'm thinking this girl is Jenny and she will eventually become a superhero, and when she does, she'll base certain aspects of her persona, like her costume, on her grandmother back when she was running around doing stuff. Now really the only twist I'm concerned with here is that Helbing said that nobody's managed to correctly guess who the mystery girl is yet, stating, "Every year there's theories all over the place about what we're doing, and some of them get pretty close. Some of them they hit like one part of it, but they don't get the other parts. So it's fun to read. I don't think anybody ever is going to guess exactly what it is." Personally, I think he's just referring to how everybody's been saying they think this girl's Dawn Allen, so like a majority of that theory could be correct. Like, she is still technically a future speedster, she is still a future member of Barry and Iris's family, but she just isn't their daughter.
So what does any of your insane rambling have to do with purple lightning?
Alright, Grouchy, hold on, let me explain. I don't think it really gets any more complicated than what we've already seen on the show. Like, if you're a normal person who gets speedster powers through some other person's metahuman ability, you get purple colored lightning. And that extra metahuman, that's the key difference between somebody like Iris and Eobard Thawne, for example. Like, they were both normal people at one point, they both got speedster abilities, but only one of them is connected to the negative speed force and has red lightning because of it. Why? Because of the way they got their powers. One copied how Barry got his powers, using science to give himself speed.
For so long, I wanted to be the Flash. I spent years figuring out how you came to be. Duplicated the reaction, and it worked. I became like you.
And the other one had an already established speedster's powers just sort of dumped into her by another metahuman. It's the same reason why her lightning isn't just blue or yellow or orange, like the connection's unnatural, but it's in a different way compared to the other unnatural connections we've seen on the show. By the way, just a quick refresher, yellow lightning means you're a brand new, fresh speedster with a totally natural connection to the speed force. Orange lightning means you're a more experienced speedster, like you built on your natural connection to the speed force and you've gotten faster over time. Red lightning means your connection connections corrupted, like either you're connected to the negative speed force or you kept fiddling around with your connection and you kind of broke yourself by the time you got caught doing it, blue lightning is a sign of either a normal person or an already established speedster artificially boosting their speed to certain levels, which, as of the time this video is uploaded, has only happened due to the use of a speed formula, like the velocity serums. White lightning is just a normal speedster lightning reflected off of another surface, like a full suit of metallic armor, and as I mentioned earlier, purple lightning is the result of a normal person swapping DNA with a speedster via another meta, thereby technically gaining a completely legitimate connection to the speed force, but it's also still unnatural since the connection wasn't really theirs in the first place. Honestly, the best part of this theory is that it can still work technically with the idea that this girl's really XS. Like maybe she lost her powers in a possible future during a fight against an evil Earth 2 Harry and maybe even Killer Frost, hence that angry look she gave the two of them, and now she needs to have some speedster DNA transferred into her to give her speed and help her get back home. I mean, it could happen. Team Flash does have that bus meta dude on their roster now, and he could survive for at least a couple episodes, since DeVoe didn't really seem all that bothered in body snatching him right away. Maybe they run into another speedster in a future episode, and before DeVoe can transfer himself into that body, like to get a body that wouldn't fall apart over time, Team Flash has this guy transfer the speed to Jenny and ends up saving everybody or something like that, I don't know. So there we go, that's my take on—
Hold on. Aren't you forgetting something?
No, I don't think so.
Seriously? If this girl's Barry and Iris's daughter/granddaughter, wouldn't she have her powers naturally? Why would she need a power transfer? We've never seen the Tornado Twins needing one in the comics.
Holy shit, you're right. And now that you mention it, that transfer would definitely have to happen sometime relatively late in the show's future, since we know the last two bus metas aren't speedsters, and it seems like a huge waste of time and potential to introduce a brand new speedster just to have them lose their powers in the same episode for no other reason than because plot. And on top of that, the mystery girl wouldn't be able to do stuff like writing those weird symbols in her notebook if she only got a power transfer relatively recently, since you'd think she wouldn't have enough time to study the speed force and figure out the same weird symbols that Barry was doodling.
And let's also not forget that Todd Helbing specifically said that fans have only been getting parts of the girl's identity right. Considering how most of you humans already theorize she's either Joe and Cecile's daughter or Barry and Iris's daughter/granddaughter, I'm assuming the answer is somewhere in the middle.
Oh, I just thought of something. What if this girl is a future speedster, but she's not the granddaughter of Barry and Iris? Instead, she's really Joe and Cecile's daughter who got her powers transferred to her in the future from a different speedster, like maybe Barry.
What?
No, seriously, think about it. Outside of that one line in the first episode of season 4,
We're gonna need more diapers.
it's not like we've had any real hint that Barry and Iris are going to be expecting any children anytime soon. Meanwhile, we've had multiple instances where the writers reminded us that Cecile's pregnant, as if that's going to be an important part of the story later on.
I'm pregnant. Oh, babe. I cannot believe I am so big already.
They even tossed her some random psychic powers because of the pregnancy, because reasons.
I think I can read minds.
Oh cool, 3 people got powers for no reason this season.
And speaking of Joe and Cecile's baby, we know it's not naturally a metahuman.
Heart rate's 170 BPM, and there's no sign of dark matter in the amniotic fluid.
So the baby's not a meta.
Nope.
Which seems like a really weird detail to point out in an otherwise annoyingly unnecessary episode, unless you're setting the baby up to become a metahuman in the future. And depending on how far in the future the mystery girl comes from, she could easily be the grown-up daughter of Joe and Cecile. I mean, come on, she even kind of looks like the both of them. Really, the only thing I can't work into this theory is the XS style costume Iris was wearing in episode 16. If the mystery girl is Joe and Cecile's daughter who has powers transferred into her, what's the point of making the costume look like that?
Well, maybe she'll turn out to be a version of XS. Given how the Arrowverse has deviated from continuity of DC's comics, it's not impossible to believe that the XS title was simply transferred to a brand new character. She could even fill the Bart Allen role for the show by doing a version of the pregnancy reveal in a future episode, leading to the line from Barry about needing more diapers.
That is an awesome idea. Seriously, calling it now. This girl's really Joe and Cecile's future daughter who becomes the speedster XS and possibly got her powers by having them transferred out of Barry.
Maybe DeVoe was going to steal his body, and Team Flash transferred his abilities before it happened to at least keep DeVoe from becoming a speedster.
Maybe. It's definitely an interesting thought at least. But anyways guys, that's my take on why Iris has purple lightning when she becomes a speedster, and my crazy new theory on who the mystery girl really is. If you guys agreed with anything I said in this video, or if you have your own theories you want to throw out there, then go ahead and let me know in the comments down below. Otherwise, I will see you all next time. Hey, thanks for watching. If you like this video, then go ahead and click that like button, and if you're new, maybe consider clicking that subscribe button too. I've also got links to my Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, and Patreon in the description. You should probably check those out too. And if you want to see more of my content, then you can click the link to my last video. It's right there in the middle of your screen. Alright, and I will see you all next time.